For ThunderVision, I'm Mike Benton, and with last week the Thunder bringing back two key pieces of last season's roster in Craig Vallette and Daryl Marcoux, a third piece was brought back earlier today when defenseman Steve Vanoosten re-signed a one-year contract. The man who made all that happen joins me now in Thunder head coach Matt Thomas. And Matt, what was a big indicator of last season's success in bringing back a guy like Vanoosten who got more spare minutes during the regular season but was a big piece for you come playoff time?
Well, you know what? I think it was one thing for me to see a guy like Vanny progress through training camp into the regular season. And one thing that we had, and you routinely don't have it, is we had a plethora of defensemen here last year. Guys like Kenny McCauley that were here for a long portion at the beginning of the year that we didn't expect. A guy like Brian Young that was a little bit of a surprise to be down as much as he was down. And that being said, it pushed some guys out of some ice time like Vanoosten would. He would normally get, but I thought the one thing that was great for him was to see how he progressed, especially in the second half, to the point where I thought in the playoffs, you know, he was arguably one of the best players on the ice. Him and Brian Young paired together, and they played against some of the other teams' top units and did a great job shutting them down. But Vanny also played a huge part on our power play, and really, I think, solidified himself as a very good two-way defenseman in this league, and a guy that I think should have a year that's off the charts. You know, I think the sky's the limit for him in terms of what he's capable of doing. A lot of it's going to come down to, you know, I think the ice time will be there for him this year, and it will come down to how willing he is to make sure he can get as much out of it as he can.
You know, after posting pretty modest numbers last year in the regular season, he really blossomed with 7 points in 15 playoff games. What made you more confident to use him out there in key situations, especially on the power play?
Well, I think the one thing that I always knew about Vanny, he has a good head for the game, and he's got a lot of poise with the puck. And you know, the one thing that I think he needed to raise the level of his game was in terms of him getting involved at a quicker pace than sometimes. Sometimes he kind of likes to just he kind of just to kind of fit in and not really push the envelope. And I thought down the stretch he did a real good job of trying to become more of an impact guy and a guy that wanted to control the play rather than just contribute to the play. And I think when I started to see that evolution, me and Odie talked a lot about, you know, using him on the power play. He's got a great shot. He's got a great one-timer. He can get it off. He's got an accurate shot, and it's got some pace on it from the point. So anytime you have that combination with that poise, it allows you to use that guy in more situations than just a regular shift. And you know, he was very good on the penalty kill for us, and I thought he did a very good job filling in on our power play. But I think his points were indicative of the hard work he put in all year, but more importantly the hard work that the entire team put in the playoffs. We led the playoffs in goals for a reason, because everyone was working hard offensively.
The trend we have seen with returning players with you in the past is to take their roles from last season and sometimes make them even bigger the next season. Is it any different?
Well, I don't think you want to bring back too many guys that are just going to bring a lot of the same. I think you're looking for guys that are going to make your team better. Unless you win championships every year, you can bring them back and have them do the same thing. But we didn't. We didn't win a championship. We got close. We got to, obviously we got as far as we've ever gotten with the franchise, and I think that was a step in the right direction. But I think a guy like Vanny's certainly a guy that, you know, I think his window for opportunity is going to come down to this year in terms of becoming an elite defenseman in the ECHL. And you know, he's probably a guy that will go about it a little bit more quietly than some other guys. But I think when, you know, it's all said and done, there will be a lot of people in this conference talking about how good of a player he is. And I think he knows that. I know it. Odie knows it. And I think that's the most important thing. I think pretty soon with his opportunity and his determination, there's going to be a lot more people out there taking notice.